What if the biggest mistake you're making with money is believing your salary is supposed to make you wealthy? You can earn $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 a year and still feel financially trapped. Because income tells you how much money comes in, while wealth depends on how much you keep, invest, and eventually own. Your paycheck can pay for your lifestyle, but the assets you build with that paycheck are what can eventually pay for your freedom. The problem starts when every raise you receive immediately turns into a bigger lifestyle, instead of becoming more money invested for your future. This is lifestyle inflation. You earn more, spend more, and somehow end up with the same financial pressure you had before. Think about what happens after a promotion: a nicer car, a more expensive home, more subscriptions, and suddenly the raise you celebrated disappears. The goal isn't to reject every luxury. It's to make sure your lifestyle grows slower than your wealth-building assets. Saving money is essential, but saving alone has a limit, because every dollar sitting still eventually loses purchasing power to inflation. Imagine keeping $10,000 in cash for years while prices keep rising. The number stays the same, but what it can buy keeps shrinking. That's why wealthy people don't simply accumulate cash. They put part of their money into productive assets that have the potential to grow over time. The goal isn't to take reckless risks. It's to make your money productive, diversified, and capable of growing while you continue earning your salary. Once you understand this, the goal changes. You're no longer trying to earn more just to spend more. You're trying to build ownership. Ownership means having something that can increase in value or produce income without requiring you to personally work every single hour. That could mean owning stocks, a business, real estate, intellectual property, or other assets that have the potential to grow over many years. Your salary gives you the fuel to start this process, but ownership is what can eventually turn that income into lasting financial independence. Now here's where things get interesting. A higher salary can actually make you feel richer while quietly making it harder to become wealthy. That's because what really matters isn't how much you earn. It's the gap between what you earn and what you actually need to spend. If you earn more but spend everything you make, your financial position may barely change, no matter how impressive your paycheck looks. But if your income rises and you keep your spending under control, that difference can become powerful capital working for your future. This becomes especially important when you think about retirement, because your salary eventually stops, but your financial needs don't stop with it. That means retirement isn't really about having a huge salary. It's about building enough assets to eventually replace the income your job provides. The earlier you start building those assets, the more time you give compounding to work quietly in the background while you continue living your life. That's why starting with a small amount today can matter more than waiting for the perfect salary or the perfect moment to begin. So instead of asking, how much more can I earn, start asking, how much of my income can I turn into assets every single month? That shift changes everything, because every month you're not just paying for your life, you're also buying a small piece of your future. And you don't need complicated strategies to begin. Consistent contributions into diversified, long-term investments can be a powerful starting point. The real advantage comes from staying invested long enough for your contributions and the returns they generate to start working together. But investing isn't the only way to build wealth. Increasing your earning power can give you more money to save, invest, and eventually own. Learning valuable skills can increase your income, but the key is making sure that extra income eventually gets converted into wealth-building assets. That's why the smartest people focus on both sides of the equation, earning more money while simultaneously learning how to keep and invest it. Because earning more without investing creates lifestyle inflation, while investing without increasing your income can make your wealth-building journey unnecessarily slow. Once you start building assets, your financial goal becomes different. You're no longer working only for income, you're building something that can work alongside you. Over time, those assets can become a second engine of financial growth, reducing how completely your future depends on one paycheck. And that gives you something a bigger paycheck alone can't guarantee: flexibility, because you have more choices when your financial foundation becomes stronger. That's the real reason wealth matters. It isn't about looking rich, It's about having enough financial strength to control more of your own time. So start looking at every paycheck differently. Don't just ask what you can buy today, ask what this money could become 10 or 20 years from now. Every dollar has a choice. It can disappear into consumption, or it can become part of an asset that may grow and compound. You don't have to invest every dollar or live a miserable life. The goal is simply to spend intentionally and consistently, build your future. Your salary can fund your lifestyle, but the assets you build can fund your freedom. If you want more practical money lessons, subscribe and build with us.